Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nadia Sobrati coming to you live from Queens, New York at nadiasobrati.com. How's everyone doing today? I hope you all are doing well. Facebook is actually building my audience, so when you guys jump in, please let me know where you're coming from so I can give you a shout out. Hey, Linda, what's up, beautiful? How are you doing? Hey, Clarence, thank you guys for joining me. Hey, Michelle. So Facebook is still building my audience, and I actually want to share this video on my fan page. So everyone there can actually view this video while, hey Rocco, how are you? Hi Michelle, happy Friday the 13th. Oh my God. So hi Dinky, what's up, beautiful? Hey David. So I have a story to tell you guys, right? And guys, so many people, right, don't believe in near-death experience. So many people don't believe in that, and this is because they've never experienced it, right? This is because they've never experienced it. And we've heard thousands of people that have had these experiences, and they've talked about it, but you're not going to believe it unless you experience that, right? Oh shoot, I forgot. Oh, Michelle, hey, how are you? So guys, wait, let me share this. Okay, I just shared this. Can you guys hear the planes? Oh my gosh, it's like, I don't know, like they switch routes and they're like all day I've been hearing these planes flying. So you guys are going to hear a lot of planes flying in the background. Hey Carl, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Okay guys, so today's topic, right, is my near-death experience on this same day, 17 years ago, October 13th in the year 2000, right guys? So we're going back to the year 2000, and I was 26 years old. I was young. I just got married, so I was, I was married for 6 months, right? I was married for 6 months. Oh my gosh, it is Friday the 13th. This is why this day is so significant for me, and I'm so happy to actually be alive, guys, 17 years after, to actually talk about this experience and share this with all of you in my audience, right? Because, each of us, we have, there's a reason why we're here. There's a reason why we're here, and there's a reason for everything that happens in our lives. There's a reason for everything, right? So I'm going to start in the beginning and tell you guys exactly what happened and how I had this experience. All right, guys? First of all, I came from a very religious family background. My family is Muslims, but I don't believe in religion, okay? But I was raised Muslim, and, we always go to the mosque, but I always went to the church. I like, you know what I like? I enjoy different religions. I enjoy different religions, but I'm not religious. So I have a lot of friends that are Muslims, Hindus, Christians, Catholic, and I always go to church with them, right? When I'm with them and whatever they're doing, I do it with them, But for me, I'm not a religious person, and I believe in God 100%. 100%, right? So guys, in the year 2000, oh my God, my throat, allergies, because I have my front door open. Hey Rhonda, how are you? Did you get married in the church? Clarence, we eloped. We eloped to Nevada, and we got married in a chapel. We had a priest, a minister married us, because we eloped. We just, we're like, you want to get married? Let's get married, and we eloped. Within 2 weeks, we were married. But we dated on and off for 4 years. Anyway, so I'm going to get to that. Hey, Rhonda, how are you doing? My daughter was born that day. Really? Wow. Okay, so we're going to go back to the year 2000, right, guys? So in the year 2000, I was married. I was a newlywed. I was 6 months married. And, my ex-husband, he's my ex-husband now. He's a surgeon, right? And, he hired a driver because he was working from one hospital to another, and he just didn't want to drive. So what he would do is he hired a driver. So while his driver is taking him to different hospitals, he can get his work done while the driver's driving, right? Because he had a lot of work to do, like a lot of, work and stuff like that. So on this day, my brother had asked me, it was like, Nadia, he was going to school in Westchester, and he graduated. So he was moving back home to my mother's house, and he wanted me to, to have the driver give him a ride to get all this stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go with you on this. I'll go with you. I was home doing nothing. So I was like, sure, you know what? I'll have the driver take you to get all your stuff, and I'll actually come along with you. It'll be a drive. It's a nice drive to Westchester, right? So the driver was driving, guys, and my ex-husband's driver got a phone call, right? He got a phone call, And he got upset after that phone call. So my brother was sitting in the front seat. I was sitting in the back, and I was eating. So I really wasn't paying attention. I was eating, and you know, I was eating. And I noticed that he got into the phone. After he hung up the phone, he got very upset. And, you know, he got very upset. He hung up the phone. And I noticed he started speeding, right? He started speeding. Guys, he ran. And I was telling him, I was like, listen, slow down. You're going too fast, right? And this wasn't even on the highway. This was not on the highway. This was like one of those streets, you know what I mean? Right? It wasn't even on the highway for him to be speeding like a maniac. He started speeding, and he ran 6 red lights. He ran 6 red lights. And on the 6th red light, there was an 18-wheeler dump truck coming in. Guys, I saw this dump truck, I swear, like 1 or 2 seconds before the impact. Okay, about 2 seconds before the impact. I wasn't even sure if I was wearing my seat. I don't think I was wearing my seatbelt in the back seat. Nobody really thinks about wearing a seatbelt in the back seat unless you're in the front seat, right? So I don't think I was wearing my seatbelt. Anyway, I saw this green truck. It was a huge, huge truck, and I was sitting in a SUV. You know what I mean? I was sitting in an SUV, and I saw that like the truck was so close. The truck was like, it was like guys, literally 2 seconds before the impact is when I saw this. And I tried to hold on, and it hit right on my side. And the car was total. My brother was sitting in the front seat. The driver got out of the car, and he left the scene of the accident. This was by the BQE, right? He left the scene of the accident. And by the time the paramedics got there and they got me out of the car, I could hear, they put me in, you know, I was in the ambulance. And I could hear my brother screaming, like, please don't let my sister die. Please don't let my sister die. At that point, from hearing what my brother was saying, I knew I was dying. Guys, when the impact hit me, right? When the impact hit the car, I felt like I was on Valiums. Seriously, this is how I felt. Like my adrenaline, I don't know what it was. Like, it was, I knew I was dying, right? I knew I was dying. And, you know, when they got me in the ambulance, the paramedics was like, you know, they were trying to keep me awake because I was in and out of consciousness. They were trying to keep me awake, and I could hear my brother screaming, and my brother's praying, oh my God, please don't let my sister die. Please, you know, guys, I was 26 years old, right? I'm 44 now. I was 26 years old. So I could hear my brother screaming, and my brother's praying, and he's crying, and the paramedics is like, you know, stay awake with me, stay awake with me. And I said to the paramedics, I looked at his eyes because I was in and out of consciousness. I looked at his eyes. And what I saw in his eyes was like, oh my God, she's going to die, right? So I started praying. I was like, God, I am not ready to go. I was like, I'm so young, I'm not ready to go. Guys, I prayed, and after that, I was unconscious. They got me to the hospital. They notified my mother and my ex-husband. My ex-husband, you know, is a doctor, right? He went to the hospital right away. My mother went in right away into the hospital. In the emergency room now, they were stretching me out, you know, to see if anything were broken, to do a CAT scan. But I was in my body. I remember my body going into shock, and my body started shaking on the table. And this is when I flatlined. I remember seeing my ex-husband. I remember seeing my mother there because they had both of them in the emergency room because they notified my family members, and my mother was calling everyone. Like my ex-husband called his mother. She lived in Seattle with her husband. They flew into New York when they found the news. And he, you know, my ex-husband's stepfather is a pastor. So they had a church service for me and everything. They were praying. They flew out to New York, and everyone flew out, like, you know, and I flatlined, right? I flatlined in the emergency room when they were trying to get me back. And I woke up, I don't know how many hours after, probably 24 hours after, I woke up in ICU. And guys, when I died, and for this, I was in a room, okay? I was like, well, yeah, I died. I flatlined, I died, and they had to resuscitate me about 4 times to get a heartbeat. But we'll talk about that after when I left the hospital. I wished if I had died because the pain was so bad. It was so bad, right? So, you know, when I woke up in ICU, I saw my ex-husband sitting there like this. He was like sitting there. I don't know how long he was there. He was probably there for the whole 2 days or something while they had me in ICU. Because, you know, they notified all my family members that I wasn't going to make it, right? Thank God, like, he answered my prayers because I wasn't ready to go. I wasn't ready to go. So, guys, let me tell you about this experience now. This is when the near-death experience happened. So while I'm in ICU, they had me hooked up to all the machines and everything, to continue my heart to beat, because they had to get a heartbeat, and they had to resuscitate me quite a few times, right? So they had me in ICU, and guys, when I crossed over, I was in a dark room, right? I was in a dark room. I was very confused. I didn't know who I was. I had no recollection of who I am in this human life, this human body. I had no idea who I was. I was very confused, but I saw this huge bright light, right? It was like a doorway, but it's huge, and I couldn't move, right? I couldn't move, but it was so inviting. I wanted to go towards the light, but for some reason I couldn't move, right? For some reason I couldn't move, and I'm standing there, and it seems like I'm standing there for a long time. I had no recollection of time, but it seems like I was there for a very long time, right? And I was confused. I didn't know who I was, guys. I had no idea who I was. And all of a sudden, a silhouette of a man appeared, right? A silhouette of a man appeared. He was really, really tall. He was wearing a hat. I couldn't see his face because it was a silhouette, and he was really, really dark, right? And at this point now, I'm trying to walk towards the light, and he kept on shaking his head like this. He kept on saying no. He was looking at me, but I didn't know who he was, because he was really, really dark, like a dark silhouette, because he was in front of the light, so I couldn't see who he was. You know what I mean? And every time I would try to walk towards the light, he would keep on walking, like to block me from crossing over. He would keep blocking me from crossing over. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, because the light is so inviting, it was so peaceful. It was so peaceful that I wanted to go towards the light. But this person wouldn't let me cross over, So this was when I woke up in ICU, guys. This was when I woke up in ICU. And the first thing I said to my ex-husband, I was like, oh my God, I saw the light. This is where I was. I was like, I saw the light. And he woke up because he was sitting, I think he was there for like 2 days, because all my family members was notified that I'm not going to make it, I'm going to die, and they had everyone in the hospital and all of this stuff. And I actually woke up. And I woke up and I said to him, I need to pee. Because they had so much IV and all of this stuff on me, blood and all of this. I had to pee, right? So they went and they got me like one of those things for me to pee while I was still on the bed, to put under me, and I peed, whatever. But he was right there, and he was holding my hand. He goes, oh my God. He goes, for me being a doctor, he goes, we had no hopes. We had no hope that you were going to make it. He goes, my mother's here, your mother's here, my family's here, all your family's here. They're in the waiting room. He goes, they just had a service for you in the church, and they were praying. I was like, really? So they had a service in the church, they were praying, because I wasn't going to make it. But guys, from them praying, whoever it was that was blocking me from crossing over, didn't let me. So see, guys, the power of prayer is so important. The power of prayer is so important. And so many of us, guys, we take life for granted. We take life for granted, and you never know when your day is going to end, when your life is going to end. You could drop down like this one day and die, and you're never going to see your loved ones again. You're never going to see your parents, your family, your children. So this is why you need to let them know, and you need to cherish them. Cherish every day like if it was your last. And guys, because of that experience, my life has totally changed. My life has totally changed, and but when I woke up in ICU, the doctors came, and they didn't keep me. They didn't keep me in the hospital because my ex-husband is a surgeon. So they're like, since and my ex-husband knew all the doctors that were in there. They even my ex-husband even had a plastic surgeon that he went to medical school and residency with, did my surgery. Look, guys, see this right here? This was from the accident. You can't really see it because the plastic surgeon did a really good job. Anyway, when he got me home, right, I went to several months of physical therapy. My spine was messed up. I had a scar on my face. I never thought that the scar would actually go away, but the plastic surgeon did such a great job. He came to the hospital when I was in a coma and stitched me up. My ex-husband called his friend that's one of the best plastic surgeons in New York City, that came to the hospital to stitch me up while I was in a coma. And when I went home, guys, and I saw my face, I was so like, I was like, oh my God, I'm destroyed. I was like, my face is destroyed, because my face was swollen so big that it looked so bad. I never thought it would look this great. Look, like I never thought that my face would look so good, right? But you know, I was supposed to go back to the plastic surgeon and they were going to do more plastic surgery, and I said no. So this was it. I never went back to get plastic surgery, and I thank God I never needed it, you know, because the plastic surgeon did such a great job. He did such a great job, you know. So for people that don't believe in God and don't believe in life after death and don't believe in the afterlife, guys, let me tell you something. It exists. A lot of doctors don't believe in the afterlife because they believe in science. And I really don't care what they believe because they have not been there. They have not experienced this. I have experienced this, right? And you know, I have a science background also. But I have experienced this, and God, I mean, guys, this is the power of prayer, and God exists. So for people out there that don't believe in God and don't believe in life after death and all of this stuff, I got news for you guys. It exists, all right? And you want to hear something? After I went home from the hospital, guys, I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain, you know, but the doctors let me go because my ex-husband is a doctor, right? And he was taking care of me at home, so I didn't have to be in a hospital. You know, and he took care of me really well. He took care of me really well. But, you know, days after I went in from the hospital, guys, I was home alone. And I went to the kitchen to get some water, and I just started having like severe pain in my chest. It felt like a lot of electric just going through my chest. And I don't know, it was like electric going through my chest. But this was from them resuscitating me, right? This was from them resuscitating me. And I had to sit down for half an hour. The pain was so bad. I never experienced a pain like that. I never experienced a pain like that at all. But it was so painful, you know. And then I went to several months of physical therapy, guys. My spine was messed up. I had fluid in my brain from afterwards. I had fluid. Was a lot of swelling in my spine. It was bad. So, you know, I went through a lot. It was a painful experience. But here I am, right, guys? I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. So for people out there that are going through so much in their lives and don't think that they're here for a reason, listen, when is your time to go? It doesn't matter how much you pray or whatever it is. You're going to go, you know? And this is what a lot of people don't get. Yes, he does, and he loves all of us. Yes, Yolanda, he loves all of us, you know? And guys, we are here for a reason. Whatever reason it is. Maybe we're here to make a difference in someone else's life. You know, who knows what our reasons are? But yes, guys, this happened 17 years ago. Bless your heart. Sorry that you had to go through that. Oh, thank you, David. Thank you, David. But David, you know, this experience made me who I am today. You know, and I've never shared this experience with you guys. You know, I mean, you know, my family members, they all know about this because they all were in the hospital. They all were in the hospital, you know, waiting for that machine to stop, you know, the flatline. Again, I mean, just, you know what I mean? Like for me to die, and I came back. I came back. But you know what, guys? Life is precious. Life is precious, and we, you know, should appreciate every day that we have. You know what I mean? But I wanted to share that with you all, and I'm sure some of you in my audience must have had the same experience. We are all here to serve and love each other. Yes, Yolanda, we're all guys. We are here to serve and love each other. We're here to help each other, you know? And I truly believe each and every one of us, we have a purpose. Maybe you don't know what your purpose is yet, but we all have a purpose. We all have a purpose, each and every one of us. And, you know, my message to you guys is to let your family and your friends know how much you love them and how much you appreciate them. Because, guys, your life could end one day. Like, you could be happy one day and just walk out of your house and get into an accident and you could die. You know, so it's life is so precious. Life is so precious, you know. Life happens for us, not to us. Exactly. Life happens for us, not to us, guys. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I love you too. Hey, Ibrahim, how are you? Thank you for joining me. So I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to share my experience with you guys. Oh, thank you, Yolanda. I love you too. I just wanted to share my experience with you guys because I know I've never shared this experience with a lot of you. And, you know, guys, there's definitely life after death. I don't care what anybody else says. This is what I experienced. And you know what? It's embedded in my brain, like that experience when I crossed over and I was in the dark room and I saw the light, It's like it happened yesterday. It's like it happened yesterday, and this was 17 years ago. This was 17 years ago. And some people probably said, okay, maybe you're hallucinating. How was I hallucinating? Seriously, when I flatlined, there was no heartbeat. I died. I was clinically dead. You know what I mean? I was clinically dead. So, hey, Clarence. So I wanted to share that with you all. I wanted to share my experience with you all. So, do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions for me? If you have no questions, hey, Rayan, how are you? Thank you for joining me. But yes, guys. Oh, hi, Risa. Thank you guys for listening. So listen, telling your story, right, is really important to your audience. When you tell your story to your audience, guys, and you let them in your life, and you let them get to know who you are, this is going to build trust. This is going to build trust. So you need to, listen, in this business, it doesn't always have to be about business and trainings, guys. Or, you know, you could tell people about your life story, your experiences. This is how you're going to build trust with them. And this is how I'm building trust with all of you, because I'm letting you into my life and letting you guys get to know who I am. You know? How did I die? Oh, David, I died in a car accident. An 18-wheeler dump truck collided me at the intersection. Collided with me at the intersection and totaled the car that I was in. But I was not the driver. I had a driver. Hey, Ricardo, thank you for joining me. All right, I had a driver. Yeah. I had a driver, and he got into an argument with someone on the phone, and he decided to just continue to speed, and he ran 6 red lights, and this is what happened. Hey, Reggie, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Hey, David. Yeah, so this is what happened. But guys, listen, life is too short. Life is too short. So appreciate your family, you know, your family, your friends. Let them know you love them, because it can end like this in one split second and you'll never see them again. But you know what? I've learned from this, guys, the power of prayer is so important. Whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in God or not, I've always believed in God, and I still do. I am just not the religious type. And, you know, don't get me wrong, guys. I will go to church. I will go to the mosque. I will go to a Catholic church. I will go to a Hindu temple. You know, I will do all these things, but when it comes to religion, it's not my thing. It's not my thing, you know, and I'm not a religious person, but I will go to all these different things because I like it, you know. I just don't believe in religion, you know, but however, I believe in God 100%. And I believed in God before I had this experience. So this experience just confirmed to me that there is life after death, you know. How do you feel? Do you feel pain still? Risa, no, this was 17 years ago. I felt pain for many years, but I don't feel pain anymore because, you know, I went to a lot of physical therapy. I had acupuncture. I saw a lot of different type of specialists and stuff like that. So I'm fine now. I'm fine now. You know, my spine is good and I'm good. I'm good, you know. Thank God nothing was broken. I didn't need surgery, but I had a big scar. All of this was open out. Like, so you could actually, from what my ex-husband said, you know, that he could see all my teeth and everything from how big the gash was. That's why he made sure he got me the best plastic surgeon in New York City to stitch me up while I was unconscious. You know, I am thinking that you are still with us. I am thinking that you are still with us. Yes, I'm still with you guys. Look, I'm right here. Guys, this was 17 years ago. 17 years ago. Faith is different than religion. Exactly, guys. Faith is different than religion. I am, you know, when it comes to faith, I believe in it. I believe in it. Guys, I was praying that day. I was praying that Our Father prayer. I was praying that day in the ambulance. And after I finished that prayer, that was when I went unconscious. That was when I went unconscious, you know. Our religion is not what makes the difference. It's the relationship with the Lord. Exactly. Exactly, Yolanda. And I have a very strong relationship with God. I have a strong relationship with God, you know. And, you know, guys, this is life. So cherish your loved ones. Cherish your loved ones. And I just wanted to share that with you all. Hey, Dilroy, how are you? Thank you for joining me. So you guys have any questions about this topic? Because you know what? Oh, thank you, Risa. Thank you. So I'm sure some of you have had similar experiences. I'm sure, right? And listen guys, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm a very, very spiritual person. I've also had spiritual experiences after this experience. After this experience, I've had spiritual experiences, you know, at different places and stuff like that, you know. Oh, definitely, Yolanda. Well, you guys are getting to know me on a different level. You guys are getting to know me on a different level now. Clarence says, thank God I haven't. Clarence, not too many people are fortunate. Not too many people are fortunate to get into a serious accident and survive it with nothing broken and have a near-death experience. Not many people, you know. So for the ones that have experienced this and are here to talk about it, guys, you're here for a reason. Maybe you don't know what the reasons are yet, but you're here for a reason. Maybe it is to help as many people as you can. Each one of us, we're here for a reason. Each one of us. You know, and when it's our time to go, that's when it's going to end, you know. Hey, Vanessa, what's up, beautiful? Thank you for joining me. Wow, so you guys have no questions, right? Hey, Pierre. Okay, guys, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you all so much for joining me. My throat. If you guys want to reach out to me, send me a message on Messenger, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions related to business, or if you just want to message me to say hi, you know. I lost my daughter to a drunk driver on my birthday in 2011. Oh my gosh, Dinky, I know you were telling me. And that's devastating, guys. That's devastating. Wow. Yolanda too. Yolanda, I've had but not near-death experience, just bad accident. You know, guys, we've all been through so much stuff. That's why we should take life, you know, one day at a time. Don't let little things stress us out. Stress us, you know what I mean? Because it can end any day. And what's more important right now is letting your family know and your friends and your loved ones that you love them. Because none of us, we don't know when our time is going to be up. We don't know when our time is going to be up. So for the remainder of time that we're here on this earth, we all should get along. We all should get along and enjoy each other and help each other. You know, guys? So anyway, I'm going to let you all go. I love you guys, and I will talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.